Hello people of the internet, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, a happy Saturday to you all. Hopefully your weekend is going brilliantly, there we go. Or if you're watching this at any other point in the week, hopefully you're having a great day nonetheless. This is a little bit of a special release that we're going to be covering today, because, well, as you can see in the corner over there, we are going to be checking out ENHYPEN's latest album, but we're doing it today specifically because this is an entire album based around the music created for ENHYPEN's, ENHYPEN X something webtoon, Dark Moon the Blood Altar. We've covered their OST in the past already. 1 in a Billion, the first song that we got for Dark Moon the Blood Altar, was one of my favorite OSTs that dropped of that year. We had Criminal Love last year, I believe, which we checked out. But B-Lift has gone and created an entire mini album of music specifically for Dark Moon Blood Altar. And well, we've been doing OST Saturdays since the first week of January of last year. And we have never come across any group doing a full bona fide album towards an OST project in the manner that ENHYPEN have done with this. We've gotten drama OSTs where there's members from a certain group and then they do a whole bunch of the OST, but typically when it comes to drama OSTs or webtoon OSTs that we normally have on OST Saturdays is they'll upload one track at a time, and once the show ends they'll do like a big compilation album and you get all the songs in one go. And we've never had any point, I think the closest we've gotten is there was an anime that the boys did an OST for. It was 3 songs long and we covered all 3 in 1 week. But this is uncharted territory. But since it is technically an OST for a work that ENHYPEN have been involved in, and it is a Saturday, I figured this is the best day to go ahead and run the entire album. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to run the entire album from start to finish, including 1 in a Billion. Just walk through the album, much like how we would treat a normal album listen here on the channel. So, who's excited? I'm very excited. So, let's check this one out one time. Here we go! So, this is a 6-track mini, by the looks of it. That's the wrong button. That's the right screen. There we go. So it looks like it's a 6-track OST mini album, special mini album. We've got 2 unit songs. I believe the title track for this era is Fatal Love. And all I know is that and 1 in a Billion are the 2 songs with MV, so we're going to be using those. And then for the other 4, we've got color-coded lyric videos, because this has been out for a few days now, I think. Yeah, this has been out for 5 days at the time of recording. So, what? Let's send it one time, because I've missed ENHYPEN and their music. Sweet Venom feels like an eternity ago. Bite Me feels like a millennia ago. But really, it's probably only been like a year, right? Since Bite Me? Wow. Crazy, man. Crazy. But, anyways, this is an album listen, so we gotta get started. This is track number 1, 1 in a Billion. Composition credits: Jacob Atwool, Thomas Daniel Bracchiale, Alex Costa, and Dunca. Some familiar names, and there's some new ones. I should preface, I've heard this before. I've heard this and and Criminal Love already. This has been a long time since I've heard it, though. It's also been a hot minute since I've read this. I was following it pretty loosely when it was coming out. This harmony pre-chorus, spectacular. One in a billion. No, 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 no. Destiny. 1 in a billion. It's got some grit to it. It's intense. It's quite a heavy song. Boy, does it listen well. Also, I don't think I've ever seen the MV for this. I heard the song many a times, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I haven't watched the MV before. Unironically, one of my favorite ENHYPEN pre-choruses. It's such a good pre-chorus.
It's destiny, yeah, 1 in a billion.
I guess this bridge is pretty good too. It's this kind of dramatic, cinematic element switch in the pre-choruses and the bridge that just hits. Also, shout out the artists for this series, because boy did they get like the mannerisms of the characters so right. I remember reading this for the first time, not knowing who was who, and then I immediately knew who was who just based off of how they were drawn. Like Sonu's character, you immediately know who that is. Nikki's character is the same. I think Sunghoon's character also the same. I don't remember all the characters' names. Like there was a Jaka, there was like Noe, Solon. I've forgotten the characters' names at this point, but also, is the Anteam version of the webtoon still going on? Because again, I don't think I've booted up webtoon.com since I moved out of the UK, and that's like 8 months ago now. Huh. But anyways, I remember listening to this for the first time and just thinking, oh yes. And this, because this was right around the time when I was getting into ENHYPEN too. I'd just seen them perform at K-pop Flex, and it was a really good time. Until then, I didn't really know who ENHYPEN were. But it was like middle of 2022 when I really found them, like Given Taken, Drunk Dazed. Good times, man. This is a good song. Really cool to come back and listen to it again, because it's that pre-chorus and that bridge. Oh, if I was doing favorite moments rankings, this would have been high up there that year. I believe we heard this last year when it dropped. Because it sounds familiar already. I forgot to read the credits. You know what? We'll run this one again. Track number 2. This is Criminal Love. Composition: Fernstream, Anton Eriksson, Joseph Feinstein, Danka, Yi Jin, Kim In Hyun, Kang Eun Jung. Now we go into the song. How many albums have I listened to, idiot?
When the lights out, no one knows we got the best seats in this ghost town. 내겐 익숙해 기다리는 게 짙은 어둠에 갇혀 everyday. 반복된 loop, 난 over.
I guess it's a cello. But a song in 6/8 like this is always gonna have such a nice flow to it. And do you hear that skipping cello part in the background? Oh, chef's kiss. Criminal love. Vocalist Jay is such a vibe, and I'm always here for it. And then offset it with that low Jungwon Criminal Love, which makes such a nice clean switch into that low Nicki verse too. Little rapper he action one time too. I will give Criminal Love this. If we're creating this a dramatic setting on an OST application, this takes the cake. Just the power that the song holds on the listener is terrific. 1 in a Billion is a great pop song. This is an OST song, for me at least. And the engineering for the song too is terrific. It's just, oh, I will not shut up about this cello part. It's so good, and it pairs so well with the vocals too. And that aggressive Criminal Love interjection for half 2 of the chorus. Criminal Love. Wow. I've forgotten how good Criminal Love was. But for me, I mean, I've talked about it how many times throughout that? It's the cello. The cello makes that song for me. And it's coming from a person who played violin for 11 odd years or so growing up. I know how they've made that sound happen. So essentially, let me get a... Here. This is a pen. I do not have an apple to stab into, and I do not have very colorful jogging gear to switch into to do. Anyways, when you're playing a bowed string instrument like your classical strings, to get that texture and that bite that the cello section in Criminal Love has, like it's got a it's very light on its feet. It's got a really nice bounce to it, but that first hit in the measure is hard. There's a nice oomph to it. There's a little bit of a crunch to it even. And the way they're getting that is all down to bow pressure. So imagine this is your long, I guess in this case, cello bow. You know, horsehair comes down here and just zoop. And holding a bow, something like that, when you hit the first note, so what? Let's go. I guess, where's a good place for it? I guess the chorus drop is the best place. Yeah, so you hear that cello part come in, and the first hit of that cello is nice and heavy, but boom, and then the other 6 notes kind of skips. So first bow down, heavy. You get all of your kind of pressure against the string down in that bow on that first down bow, and then you skip it kind of. So it becomes lighter, and you purposely almost skip it across the string instead of pulling the string down, and that's how you get that kind of lighter bounce to it. But this cello section does it so well, and because of it adds so much dramaticism to the song that's already written in a time signature that's going to be a little bit different. 6/8 is naturally going to have a little bit of a swing to it. The songs that are divided instead of 4 and 2 are divided into 3 is just naturally going to have a skip to it, right? 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. That's very nice, well-rounded. Once you get into 3, you have 1 2 3, 1 2 3. You kind of clip that final beat, and it's just naturally how 3/4 time and 6/8 time and stuff like that works. So you pair that with the strings, and the overall composition of this song creates the ultimate dramatic OST piece for me. Yes, absolutely. Now we get to move on to the new stuff. So, this is the MV4 track at number 3, Fatal Trouble. Of course, in celebration of the Dark Moon special album. So, composition, Slow Rabbit, Danke, Gabriel Brandes, Matt Thompson, Max Lenadoc, Max Lenadoc Graham, no comma there, Yi Jin, Mais, Kim In Hyung, Patrick Killoran, Will Sims, Kang Eun Jung, and, well, the ominous HYBE logo, or the HYBE tag at the end. So, let's see what Fatal Trouble is like. It's a little bit, like, it's smooth, a hint of ominousness to it. Oh wait, hold on a second, let him cook. Hold on a second. What is this chorus and why is this so good? Looking dapper, gentlemen. Wow. Talk about a chorus that brings that heat. Jesus. I love how low the second verse is too. And that subtle electric guitar that builds before the pre-chorus, spectacular. Big pick slide into the chorus. This call and response post-chorus is gorgeous. Hi Suha just kind of appears. Is it over? No! Oh, that is criminal how short that song is, or how fast that song went by. Dare I say it, is this my favorite, like, main Dark Moon release that they've done? Wow. Okay, so stylistically, this very much sits in the middle between 1 in a Billion as like a proper pop song and Criminal Love being this dramatic dark song. It very much comfortably fills that middle gap. But this genuinely might be my favorite main release out of those three. There's just, like, Hold on, where's that first chorus?
제발 대답해봐 내가 틀린 걸까 Fatal trouble Yes getting blood
It's the idea of adding that intense energy to it that's not bright at all, but it really brings in this undertone of mystery and suspense, but gives it this almost modern rock injection too. Oh. And it's the offset that it creates with this pre-chorus too that just makes it. Because like this isn't just a nice little pop song right now. Cheeky harmony moment. That guitar moment is so important for me. It's instead of having a white noise riser, they purposely added a riser into the instrumental, and it's almost like foreshadowing into what the chorus release is going to be like, because you don't really get that electric guitar anywhere else until you get to the main chorus and apart from this little riser. And then get this brightness, the vocal magic. Intensity, that bass kicking in too. Wait for it. Call and response action. Yeah. Also, that book that Nikki's character is reading on the side there is comically small. I found that very amusing the first time around, but yeah. No, this takes the cake for me in terms of the main three releases from Dark Moon. But of course, we have B-sides to get to, technically. So we're going to have the first of the two unit songs. This is track number 4, titled Teeth, featuring the members on screen. Composition, Tim Tan, France, Shin Kun, J. Noah, Yi Jin, Hybe, the ominous Hybe, Danka, Jeonjun, JJ, January 8th, and Cho Yoon Kyung. Okay, January 8th and Cho Yoon Kyung I'm very familiar with, so this could be... Also, looking at the lineup, this could be very interesting, because I don't know what to expect here. Oh, pre-chorus already? Hold on a second. Again, I love a little 1-2 section. Oh, they brought a little bit more intensity than I thought. Okay. Why is this all of a sudden giving me like JRPG boss battle vibes right now? Like not like the main baddie in the show, but like an underling baddie. That chorus kind of rips. Hold on. I'm also kind of surprised at how quickly that verse seemingly goes away. Like, it's a proper length verse, but it just goes by so fast. Maybe it's that walking bass that's doing it? Interesting synth work in the background, too. Yeah. You make me so thirsty. Fill up so hit the brakes. Oh my. Ramp it back up. Hold on a second. Jungwon's English pronunciation I find so charming. It had such a nice character to it. Oh yeah, no, this is genuinely really good. Take my teeth in ya. Like, this post-course with Nikki very much gives me JRPG boss battle vibes. Also, rapper Sonu, great setup with Nikki. Huh. Oh, where did this one come from? I like it. I do like it. It's got a nice crunch to it. It's got a nice energy to it. That slowdown section is kind of trippy, because usually on a pop song like this, whenever there's a slowdown, it's usually over in like 4 beats. This was, I think, an entire 16 measure section where they just slowly but surely applied the brakes. No, applied the brakes. I swear I'm not dyslexic. But apply the brakes, and you just, instead of just really just dropping it to a standstill, they just ever so slowly slowed it down, and it got slower and slower, and then it sped back up again, and we got up to full speed. And I think that's just, from a listener's point of view, that really just kind of sucks you in. That's really cool. Whoa. Interesting parallel. The Sunu has a section in the end of the chorus, main chorus part, I think. That section there kind of reminds me of Sugar Rush Ride a little bit. TXT's Sugar Rush Ride. I think it's the final chorus. It's a very similar melody. I thought that's really cool. I love little similarities like that, and it's just love it when my brain can cook up stuff like that. But Teeth is kind of a banger. All right, but of course we have 3 more members to get to. Hello, gentlemen. Song number 5, titled Lucifer. Composition: Kim Joo-hyung, Charlotte Wilson, Chanti, Frankie Day, Danke, Hype, Jeonjun, Cho Yoon-kyung, January 8th, and JJ. So similar music team, not quite the same. Also, looking at these 3 members, what can we get? It's really slow. 어둠 속 들리던 your voice. I love it, I love it. 편안히 날 감싼 lullaby. Oh, Jake! I love it like. Slide into that note. Hi, Jake. Whoa. Actually, speaking of Jay, hopefully he had fun at that Mariners game the other day. This song's gonna cook. I just don't know how. Oh, this really cooks. Hold on a second. Oh, the way they cut out the instrumental at the end. And then you get Jake sliding into those notes again. Oh, he's so smooth with it. But also, vocalist Jay I will never complain about, and I'm not gonna start right now. Oh. Then you got someone flying up there with that light airy tone. It's such a subtle amount of air too. Just enough to add texture, but not enough to be like imposing in the tone.
Oh my, they'll never get it. Oh my, they'll never make it. No lie.
So I guess they've kind of flipped the roles now in verse 2 or pre-chorus 2. Wow. Jake needs to stop it being this smooth on that Lucifer line. You know what? Jake just needs to stop being so smooth on this. Do what I gotta do to be together. Jay had her moment. Oh, that's hot. Summer does have a nice amount of finesse when he just kind of squeezes in. Yeah. Lucifer's also really good. Like, what is going on? What is happening? It definitely takes the heavy and dramatic to another level. Like, if we thought Criminal Love was going to be that heavy, dramatic one, no, Lucifer takes the cake and walks with it. It's... What really just works in its favor is the sauce. There's so much vocal sauce in this song, it's not even fair. Like, this is a trio, and they've got enough vocal sauce to cover the entire group twice around. It's so saucy, so smooth. Oh, so buttery smooth. Especially you in the middle, sir. Jake, that is an unspeakable amount of sauce that is illegal in certain countries. Yeah, at the beginning, when it started off that slow, I really wasn't sure what direction it was going to go. Because it's, like, we've done ballads and stuff on OSC Saturday a whole bunch of times. We've done ballads a whole bunch of times throughout album listens and stuff. And yeah, ENHYPEN's Lucifer has probably had the slowest BPM of any song that we've done on channel. That's how slow this song started. It was like almost like you can't even call it lurching anymore. That's how slow this song started. But because of it, whenever you get a big kind of moment in the instrumental and in the vocal, it's there to stay, and you're going to feel every single hit of that. And boy, does that hit feel good when you listen to it. Yo! I'm also so glad that vocalist Jay is being utilized more. Like, there was a... What's that show that replaced... The Yihyori version of the show that replaced Sketchbook on KBS? ENHYPEN were on it, and they did One Direction's What Makes You Beautiful, right? I'm pretty sure most engines have seen that by now, but I remember watching it for the first time and just being like, okay, Heesung is, like, Heesung can really bring in that pop ad-lib sound. Jake really just kind of slots into that bright boy group sound well, but Jay. And whenever we checked out him and Yuri collaborating with Dry Flower, and well, Yuri covered that one Japanese ENHYPEN song. I forget what that song is called. I know the melody, but I remember thinking like, wow, I have not been appreciating Jay's vocals enough. And I'm so glad that's changing now, because but also, I reckon this year moving forward, Jake, you sir, with your saucy vocals, I'm gonna have to keep an eye out on, because you cannot be left trusted with that sauce, young man. All right, one final song for the road. This is track at number 6, titled Scream. Oh, interesting. Lucifer. Shiny made a song called Lucifer. Scream, my first ever Dreamcatcher song. Is it going to be as good as that? Let's find out. Credits, composition, credits. Alex Howard, Josh McClelland, Ryan Laurie, Danga, Kim In-hyung, Hype, Lee-jin, and Kang Yun-jun. Okay. It's snappy. It's got a nice guitar sample. One that doesn't really get used, I don't think. It's like a resonator guitar from like the late 50s. I kind of like it. No shot, this is the full drop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's not as heavy as I thought it was gonna be. It's more groovy. Holy cadence, my guy. This 2-stage chorus drop threw me off the first time, but you know, with how this instrumental goes, this isn't the full drop, and you know there is going to be one coming up. This is way too top-loaded. Interesting that this album is bookended by groovy songs. Like 1 in a Billion, while it's fast and pretty sharp, it's got a nice groove to it. Scream also has a really nice groove to it. If we want to talk about charming vocal colors, Drum 1, very charming vocal color. I kind of like that, letting Nicky be the setup in the final chorus, because he's got that naturally low tone. It creates a really nice canvas for the rest to kind of build above it now. Oh, Scream is very nice. This is the grooviest song out of the 6, I think. In terms of just like everyday listenability, this one's up there just because I feel like this is an everyday song. Like you can like snap along to it, you can walk along to it. It's a quick song, but got a nice rhythm to it. And it's not too intense. Like the songs, like, you know, Lucifer is intense. Criminal Love is intense. Teeth and Fatal Trouble are pretty intense. This is definitely the most pop song, like, easy in terms of, like, listenability, I think. At least for me right now. And, yeah, again, the bookend thing. 1 in a Billion, really nice groove. Criminal Love, slow it down, bring a little intensity in. Fatal Trouble, kind of meet in the middle, get a little bit more pep in its step, but retain that dramaticism. And then you kind of mirror that going down the order in the B-sides now, like Teeth into Lucifer into Scream, very much has similar characteristics. And I think that's really interesting. Very clever from an album arrangement point of view. Scream, I think, for me though, in terms of just like talking about how the song goes and stuff, doesn't really need a lot of explaining. It's self-explanatory. It goes exactly how you expect the song to go, except for that false drop. That false drop is very interesting, but it's easily recognizable as one. Like, you know it's not an anti-drop, it's just late. Just the vibes of the song, you can't hide the fact that there's going to be a drop in this song. Even if you do hold it back for 4 measures or so, you know it's coming up, and you're fully expecting it. Even though it doesn't happen, you're still expecting it to happen. And then, you know, lo and behold, you get the instrumental building in the background, and then boom, final release comes. It's like, ah, okay, here we are. I'm usually not a big fan of anti-drops because I love that satisfaction of the release. But with Scream, it's just like, oh, we're gonna hold it off a little bit more. Never wrong with that. Nice. Low key though, like, I'm not a hardcore Engine by any means, or Engine. I have not listened to every single ENHYPEN album. In fact, the only really ENHYPEN albums I've clocked onto are the last 2 because, well, we covered them on the channel. Because we did Bite Me era. We also did Sweet Venom era. And the B-sides on it and stuff have always been really good, at least from the 2 albums that I've seen. I don't know about Past the Mic and before that. And like Past the Mic, Paradox Invasion, that era and before, I don't know the B-sides of, just because I wasn't around for ENHYPEN back in those days. But why is this low-key, as of right now, my favorite ENHYPEN album? Why? Like, is it my favorite title track that they've done? No, not quite. But in terms of like the overall album, this is kind of spectacular. And let me actually look at the Reddit thread, because I have that. That's what I've been reading like the album credits off of. And okay, so it looks like it's also been really highly rated from at least the people on the album thread. But like, why did they go so hard for an OST album? I'm not complaining about it. They went hard like a criminal. But yeah, why are they not promoting this? Why are they not promoting this? Oh my goodness. This would have been a spectacular. Imagine the stage concepts for this. Oh, so many opportunities for suits. Oh, I've always said that no matter who you are, you will look good in a suit. Doesn't matter if you're a boy group, girl group, female artist, male artist, don't identify with either, you will look good in a suit. Oh, I can see it now. All the stages for like Fatal Trouble in suits. Oh, I feel robbed, man. But anyways, before I get too sidetracked, this is a spectacular album, and I encourage you all to listen to it. I reckon this probably won't get too much traction because this isn't a promoted album release, and that this is an OST. Although, having said that, it might gain some good traction behind it. And usually in the case of OSTs, they don't gain traction whatsoever, unless it's like an absolute worldie of an OST, like Gaho Start Over, Starlight by Tail from 2521, Stay With Me from Goblin, like, you know, the iconic OSTs from just peak dramas. There's only a handful of them, and they're very rare. Unless your OST ends up making it to that level of monumental, it's never gonna gain the traction that it deserves. This might have a chance. If engines are passionate enough with this could go somewhere. And I really hope it does, because the songs on this album are terrific. But anyways, you all knew that. I've said that plenty of times. Hopefully you enjoyed the album as well. But I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you all for listening along with me. Again, hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today. Let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world. Whether it be, checking with your friends or family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day-to-day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, an ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!